Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. Literally bringing this podcast from Madrid, Spain. I love the fact that I can literally produce content for you guys anywhere I am in the world. So when I do want to talk about subjects and important matters and topics, I can give it to you guys as soon as possible in a diligent and effortless manner. And I really wanted to speak on the subject at hand here because I feel like this is an impending situation and problem that I don't see getting fixed anytime soon. And I feel like we need to look into a solution, and by doing so we need to start a conversation. And what I mean by this is, just getting straight into it. Why do I feel like the people of color, especially Black Islanders, suffer the most post coming out of Love Island when it comes to Instagram followers, when it comes to collaborations, when it comes to just making that coin? They would have to work twice as hard, I feel, as their counterparts, and I feel like it's just very, very unfair. And we speak about cosmetic surgeries and how people are forced to do them when they come out of Love Island, or we speak about bullying, we speak about trolls. So why don't we speak about matters like this? Why don't we keep the same energy? Because it seems to be very displaced, and there doesn't seem to be a conversation at hand here that actually discusses this type of problems. And I feel like it's a very good way to look at it. We speak about so many other multifaceted issues coming out of Love Island, how it can affect their mental health, but this is a situation that is a branch of mental health, but I don't really see many people screaming or talking about this. And for example, from Leanne to Mike to Priscilla, especially Priscilla in this Love Island kind of season, have suffered the most when it comes to Instagram followers. And I find it to be very, very funny. And I feel like, well, not funny, but like funny in that how you look at it, in that it's just something that people don't really raise as a concern. Like, for example, Priscilla is somebody who was the last Casa Amor girl, but her counterparts, her Casa Amor other girls like Natalia or like Molly have, have got far more followers than her. And I find that to be very interesting because they definitely did not get that much airtime. Well, they did get more airtime than Priscilla, but Priscilla was in there for longer. So, we had opportunity to get to know her for longer, to build that relationship for longer. She was also in a stronger couple than both Natalia or Molly Smith. So one wants to think, if, one person is in a stronger couple and has lasted longer than them, then why don't they have more of an outlook? Why don't they have more of a kind of, Instagram kind of building? And yes, you can argue the majority of the UK is white, and it's a white labeled show, so therefore people want to follow their own and so forth. I can understand that, and I feel like that is an important part of the conversation that should be stapled there. But at the same time, there is this kind of issue or feeling of I don't want to follow this person because of X, Y, Z, because this person is black and so forth. Even though I'm not black, I don't want to follow this person. And where does this stem from? Why is this taking place? And are we going to find a solution? Now, I'm not saying that we're going to find a solution at the end of this podcast, but I do feel like having some kind of conversation, putting a thought box out there rooted from this conversation, can help build and change something, or at least start a conversation to raise awareness. And I feel like raising awareness is just such an important thing to do, and I genuinely feel like it's something that we all kind of need to do, and we don't. So this is why I wanted to make it like a quick 10 to 12 minute podcast, really just to outline this particular issue. And, I just genuinely find it to be interesting. I just do. We even have Yewande from last year, who was only in there for a couple of weeks. Of course, it was a much popular season, so, can't really compare them. She did quite well, 70,000 to 800,000 followers, but she was also losing followers in comparison to her other counterparts. And again, I find that to be very weird. I genuinely do. We can't really compare the summer seasons to the winter ones, because the summer seasons evidently had far more of the viewing, were far more popular, and the ratings were like over 1 million, for example. So you really can't compare them, because I feel like when you need to compare situations, they need to have the same variables, and they really don't. So, we can't really use Samira and Yewande as direct comparisons, but we can use them as comparisons to their own counterparts and their own seasons. And I feel like it is a struggle. And I just find it very funny how we don't speak about issues like this, but we speak about a plethora of other issues for Islanders and what they face, and I find it just to be irritating. But what instead we see are flipping other Islanders all laughing together, trying to pronounce Yewande's name. And, we're taking the piss out of it and joking like nobody's dumb. Like we're all dumb, sorry, and like we all don't understand what you're doing. Like, it's okay for all that to happen, and it just irritates me because I think of that stuff a lot when I see these past Islanders who were in those videos making the dumb jokes, and it's just something that I just feel like nobody talks about, and I feel like it's just a conversation that we need to have as to why this takes place and why these people don't have, these are barriers of social media racism that I feel like are very rife, and I feel like are also very subconscious. They're in your face, but you don't really see it. They're in your face, but you don't want to act on it. They're in your face and you don't see it as a major issue. And one needs to at least wonder, what can we do? Is there going to be a solution when it comes to this? I don't think there is at this moment of time. I'm not trying to be a pessimist, I'm trying to be a realist. I don't think there is, but I just feel like we need to raise awareness. Like for Michael to be, you know, one of the main people who was carrying the season, and I'm not a major fan of him, truthfully speaking. I'm just being real. I'm just being genuine. You don't have to love somebody to see what it is. And I feel like he was a very good contestant. I feel like, you know, someone that I did like. I wasn't a major fan of him throughout the season. I had my ups and downs with him. But when you look at it, his back must be hurting because he was carrying the whole season. From his comedy to his cheesiness to, you know, switching from girl to girl to girl. It was a conversation starter, and there was a graph online that showed that he was the most talked about contestant on Twitter. So if Mike is the most spoken about contestant on Twitter, why does he not have one of the most amount of followings online? Do you know what I mean? Like people want to talk about him. He's somebody who becomes the most spoke about character on Twitter, and I damn well know, you know, it's not just the POC or black people that are just speaking about him on Twitter for him to be the most spoken about. But yet there is this kind of barrier of, you know, because of the way he looks, so because of the way he is, I don't want to follow him. I don't want to, you know, press that follow button. I don't want to go see what he's doing and stuff like that. But then you have a different kind of nature for Molly Smith or for Natalia, these new Casa Amor girls, let alone Shauna or, you know, Shanice and stuff like this. So that it's just that thought process of, I'm not following them. Why am I not following them? What is going on here? And I feel like that in itself is interesting. You know, Mike and Priscilla are probably one of the strongest couples of this collective, set aside Shanice, you know, Luke and Paige and Finley. So with that being said, they should ideally have a lot of followings, but we don't really see that. And same for Ched. I feel like Ched itself is also another example. He doesn't really have that many, like 100k or so, but my man got to the final. How have you got to the final and you haven't even reached 500,000 followers? I don't understand. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It genuinely doesn't, and I find that I find it to be very, very confusing. I genuinely do, because it's like, it's just, and no one really talks about it. I feel like it's just kind of hidden around. It's just left there in the corner just to be, I don't know, just to be left there. And I just feel like, are we ever going to have this conversation? I genuinely don't know. And I feel like we won't. So hopefully this podcast, if, you know, people are listening to it, which I'm seeing they are, can, you know, tweet about it with the hashtag I'm over it, so that we can start some kind of discussion. Tweet about it. I'll retweet all your tweets, and hopefully, you know, we can bring some awareness. I did tweet Priscilla last night. I was like, let's get this guy to 100k. What's going on? I don't know. I was just in a shisha bar browsing and just in Madrid chilling, and I was like, why is this girl not at 100k? What the hell is going on? She was nearly in the final. She's in a strong couple, one of the strongest in the villa. What the hell is going on? I'm not here for this anymore. It's really pissing me off. So I thought, let me just tweet quickly. Let's get her going. Let's get this 100k. Let's get the coins. Let's get the bag. Let's get the sponsorships, the ads, the videos, the couple, you know, channel going on. Let's get it all going. Let's get in. I'm all about getting into your bag. Do you understand? I'm all about getting into your bag. I know exactly what to do. If I was an islander, which I don't plan on ever being, coming out, I would know exactly what to do to get that coin. And I feel like that's exactly what Molly May is doing. She is getting that coin. She is very marketable. And I feel like, you know, she is doing really well in that kind of manner, because she had a plan going in and her plan is working effortlessly. And I just feel like, you know, get into your bag and get into your coin. Don't get into your feelings. Don't get into your feelings. Get into your bag and get into your coin. And if you want to use your feelings to get into your bag and coin, then by all means do so, please. And I just genuinely feel like, you know, we have black kind of islanders that go in there that don't become as successful coming out there. They don't have that many, you know, followers. And we're seeing that a lot for this season, especially. Yes, this season was already low, so other counterparts are going to struggle. But I still feel like they have struggled to a far more point, and nobody has really had or started a conversation on this on Twitter that I have seen that has reached the same level of importance to other related multifaceted issues that Love Islanders face when they come out of the villa. I just don't see it. I just genuinely don't see it. And, you know, I speak on matters like this, very important stuff, and I feel like, you know, there's no shame in doing so. There's no shame in my game. There's no shame in talking about issues like this at all. And I'm happy that I do, because it can start some kind of importance. But let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this kind of mini I don't know, 10 to 11 minute podcasts. I know my last two podcasts have been quite short. I have been traveling and, you know, coming out with daily content. I wanted to take a little bit of a break when it comes to podcasts, but, you know, I am back now, guys. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this podcast. Hopefully you guys are loving it. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything. If you guys have any ideas, any content that you want me to discuss, tweet me. Use the hashtag I'm over it, and we can start that discussion on this platform. Hopefully you guys are liking these 10 to 20 minute episodes. I do like giving short content, short bursts out there, because I imagine everybody is very, very busy, but I just feel like hopefully we can have this conversation. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are, please, and I'll catch you guys soon, because I've got a plane to catch back to London. And one thing about me is I do not miss flights. Like, genuinely speaking, I will come back home late and maybe I'll have to have an hour of sleep, but I will wake up fresh and I will catch that flight in God's name. There's no way I'm missing no damn flight. Can you imagine now? You're going to a flipping, oh my days, what a fear. You're driving to the airport station, you're getting an Uber, there's traffic everywhere, you're not making your flight, you're stranded. I'm not on that team. In God's name, I will get my flight this afternoon, and it'll be peaceful. I will land peacefully, because I cannot miss a flight. What a nightmare. What? And the gag is that I don't even leave 3 to 4 hours early. I'm not in one of those ones. I will leave an hour early and I will still make it on time, because I know I will, and I know that I just know I fly a lot and I'm quite used to it. But yeah, I don't know I have no idea why I'm talking about this right now, but I am. Here we are. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys soon. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much.